our group will present a personal financial planning for Sarah and Michael. We have 5 group members, me, Jasper, Jeffro, Anne, and Wenning. We do the things mainly for 3 parts: introduction, assumption, and recommendations. Let's go to the first part. Sarah and Michael are old couple. Their retirement is approaching, and they need a comprehensive overview of their financial statements to provide a comprehensive financial planning for them. They mainly focusing on retirement life quality issue. So they want to do a lot of like investment or insurance and something like that to prevent them they have a high quality retirement life. Next part, like and describe these assumptions.
Good, thank you, Henry. According to the case study and our assumption, I will provide you some basic information about our client, Sarah and Anderson. They are the old couple at the age of 55. They have demanding job as IT manager and hotel manager with a very, very good income. They refer a very low risk tolerance, and they have a hobby as reading books, watching films. After 27 years married, they have 2 children. Peter, 26 years old, working in the bank. And Dinah, 23, has started her job as an early childhood educator. Now they are living independently since they are no longer financially support for their children. And they have just paid off mortgage. Last year, they own 2 vehicles. And they plan to get retired when they get 60. After that, they will spend 10 years traveling around the world or domestically. Also, they plan to set aside a budget of about $50,000 for each of their children. And they also have some passive personal investment in their account, which will be analyzed in the next session. Next. Here, we have another assumption. We assume that if they have been spending about $500 each month from 30, they will have about over $400,000 in their account. Next. Another assumption is that the tax-free saving account, we assume that if both them has been spending for $250 a month, so when they get 60, they each of them will have over $200,000 in their tax-free saving account, as you can see here. Next. Now we will looking at their financial statement to see their to understand their financial status. Now you can see here the largest assets in their balance sheet is the house in Panama, with accounts for 63% of their total asset, making the total asset to around $3 million. And they have a limited balance of debt from credit card. It's only 3,000. Next. And we can looking at the cash flow statement. You can see that here with a very good income from their job, they have both them have total income of $11,600 a month. However, they just have a total spending of around over 5,000, which is very which is significantly lower than the average spending in the area. Next. Now we will take a look at financial ratio analysis. As you can see here, we have a very low debt ratio and a high current ratio, and a very good saving ratio as about 43% for saving ratio on gross income, and for net income is around 56,000. It shows that it indicates that they have a very good financial management skill. And now my teammates will present about the recommendations. And Vivi will present the cash flow budget and cash flow management. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for Chan's detailed assumption and analysis. Based on this, first we would like to talk about the recommendation for budgeting and cash flow management. Next, please. As per the table, we divide the incremental inflows that are released from the monthly repayment for the mortgage since Sarah and Michael have paid off it. The incremental outflows are based on Sarah and Michael's goal, travel, money, gifts for children, and retirement. Regarding travel and living costs, we recommend reallocating the existing assets. For example, selling one of their cars after they don't need to commute. Meanwhile, adjust their travel variable costs to enable more flexibility, such as planning twice but implementing once based on their financial and health status. Regarding money gifts for children, we recommend a one-time payment of 50,000 when their children are at the age of 30. Because there is a time difference that enable Sarah and Michael to have 4 and 7 years to prepare and no need to pay a one-time of 100,000 at the same time. In terms of retirement, we recommend considering the increasing required funds for healthcare and longevity, which we will cover in the next sections. Next, please. Moving on, we provide 4 strategic implementation for further consideration, detailing manage the fixed and variable expenses and the comparative analysis for budget and actual performance to cost down and create and release more flexibility. Thirdly, diversified investment portfolios to earn more money but not rely on savings, such as automotive passive investment, which are lower risks and require less time to manage. Last but not least, talk to their family doctor. Not yet. Thank you. Talk to their family doctor to access their health, identify needs and expectation, and verify the coverage with their employment insurance. Next, please. Sarah and Michael might face some challenges such as inflation that may reduce their asset value and purchasing power. We recommend considering the parental value of owned assets and investment return to fight against inflation. Additionally, healthcare and leverage may boost retirement fund demand. We recommend monitoring their health, managing medical spending, and actively seeking ways to increase coverage plans to transfer these risks. Next, please. Move to the tax planning part. Next, please. The tax plan for RSP and TFSA will be covered in the following sections, and here we will focus on the estate plan. Sarah and Michael plan to split the bequest equally but have no plan. Canada has no inheritance tax, but estate might trigger complex inheritance legal and taxes. Therefore, we provide 3 recommendations, including strategic gifts, trust, and charitable donation that help reduce the taxable value of inheritance and thus reduce tax obligations. Next, please. Aiming to protect assets and ensure that they are distributed according to will in a tax-efficient manner, we propose Sarah and Michael establish a will and estate plan to distribute inheritance, reduce taxable value strategically, and finally address their concern after they pass away. Next, please. Sarah and Michael may experience financial changes in income decline and cost increases. Meanwhile, changes in tax regulations might require review or adjustment for their tax planning. Therefore, they should invariably visit financial advisors and tax law specialists to assess their financial situation and adjust their will, estate plan, and tax planning as needed. Let me hand it over to my colleague Jasper to talk about the investment strategy. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivi. I will discuss the investment strategy for Sarah and Michael, and the goals include traveling, gifts for their children, and a stable post-retirement income. Therefore, they need to effectively leverage the last 5 years of income and plan for investment. Next page, please. Our first recommendation is to diversify their portfolio across various assets, including bonds, dividend-paying stocks, and index funds. The rationale here is to lessen risk through diversification while generating a steady income. And thanks to the relatively high interest rate now, it can be a good time to buy newly issued bonds because they have a higher value than those issued years ago. Also, dividend-paying stocks contribute to building long-term wealth, providing regular income to shareholders so that Sarah and Michael can enjoy a passive income after they retire. Secondly, we emphasize maximizing contribution to their RSP and TFSA accounts. The RSP contribution will lower taxable income, and the TFSA offers tax-free growth and withdrawals. These accounts can maximize their retirement saving efficiency. And the third strategy is to reduce their monthly expenses on non-essential items by 50%, particularly in areas such as clothing and entertainment. This reduction will free up an additional $450 monthly, increasing their capacity to invest or save for their retirement goals. Let's move to the implementation plan. The first step is to identify how much money they need and how and when they need it. The total amount required for their travel goals and children gifts is $200,000 by the time they retire, which is 5 years from now. And immediate action is to trim non-essential spendings, creating a new monthly surplus of $6,922. The next step is fully utilizing the available contribution room in the RSP and TFSA. They can significantly enhance the tax saving potential by allocating an additional $2,367 monthly toward this account, leaving a surplus of $4,555 for further investment. And over the next 1 to 5 years, the focus shifts to building a diversified portfolio. We suggest they can invest in the remaining surplus every month with 65% allocated to fixed income investment and 35% to equities. We aim to balance stability and growth, and this conservative mix is projected to have a 5% return on investment, translating into a future portfolio value of more than $300,000. Which is significantly exceeding the initial goals of $200,000. Next slide, please. However, the market volatility is one of the biggest challenges when implementing investment strategies. We suggest regularly reviewing and adjusting the investment portfolio. For example, to increase the ratio of bonds during economic downturns. In the next section, Jeffro will talk about retirement planning. Thank you, Jeffro.
Thank you, Jasper. For the retirement planning, we have to review something. Next slide. Firstly, we have to identify the goal. Sarah and Michael want to have have the comfortable and the sweat relaxed retirement. So they should have to review the income resources and also the time frame which they plan, how long they retire, and also the time value influenced by the inflation and the interest rate. Next slide, please. An implementation plan. Firstly, we will suggest that they should review the current plan, such an investment plan, tax plan, something as well, because both of them can influence their planning on the retirement. And according to the research, the healthy is the big problem in the retirement. So even Sarah and Michael are Canadian people who have the MSP planning to cover the healthy expand. However, some serious illness like cancer or some accident like arm broken will not be covered. So we will suggest them to buy some extra health insurance from the corporate or some personal as well to cover this expense, which they will not spend more here. Besides, they should have small long-term investment for them to when they are retirement, they ensure they have the stable income here. So as Jasper said, they can buy some bonds, etc., to ensure they can have the stable income. The last thing is they have to regular to check the plan and modify if they need, because the even they have the well planning on the retirement, maybe the market or something will affect the result. So they should review again per year to change. Next slide. According to the inflation and interest rate, we will provide the table to show how much they will facing in this expand during the 20 years in the because of the inflation, also the saving under the interest rate in the 20 years. Next slide, we will pass to Harry to talk about the risk management. Thank you, Harry.
Thank you, Jasper. At this part, we focusing on risk management and insurance. There are no risks, and we put a risk in this course in 3 categories, which is risk and perils and hazards in terms of the impact degree and the possibility. And the method we use is mainly focused on the 4 parts. The first one is avoidance, which is we could do something to eliminate the risk, like we don't smoke in our house to eliminate the fire risk, like that. And the second part is the reduction, like when we were driving, we fasten our seatbelt to ensure that we are safety. And for the third one is assumption. This refers to we take some part to the risk, like deductibles for the insurance, which means that when you want to claim insurance, this specific amount should be deducted from the number of you want to claim, like you take charge of this one. And for the third one is shifting or transportation. That part, which means people don't be able to take charge of it, like the risk is more than you can your ability or can affordable. For the first one, we want to introduce the insurance. Insurance process, we use the 4 steps to do the whole process. In this page, we could see more details about the risks and the impact and implementations, how to reduce the risk during our life. And focusing on the housing things, these are some main risks like fire, electric, and falls, and then what should we do to reduce the impact. In BC, people usually pay a lot of money on house insurance. The general insurance pays is around 70 to 80 about their house cost, about how much money they pay for their housing. And then the vacancies is more important for this old couple, because a lot of insurance companies don't want to their policy holders leave their house more than 30 days. And then if they want to pay more attention on some important part of their property, they should buy extra insurance, which is called umbrella insurance. Let's move on to the automobile insurance. In Canada, every territories and the provinces have mandatory insurance for automobiles. This insurance also includes third-party liability insurance, which means someone hit by a automobile, the insurance would take care of this part of this financial cost. And for this old couple, as they want to explore outside, so it's property for them to do the roadside assistance fee, because maybe sometimes their vehicles are stuck somewhere. They could call them with lower fees rather than they don't have the insurance with BCAA. And then if they want to put more money on the insurance for extra protection, they could find out where they could buy, and they could do that. For the life insurance, it's a one-time pay if the policy holders die in some cases. It's only based on a lot of things, because different situations has different insurance amounts. These are based on living area, age, term, goals, and living habits. For Michael, he would pay $133 per month to get his insurance. And health insurance is another important thing for all of us. Since they are working for their company, so they get group medical insurance from the company. And then if they want to extra take care for their health, they should purchase supplemental health insurance. For example, they want to live in a private room, a single room in hospital, don't want to share spaces with others like that. Here we put all of our recommendations here. We have 9 for them. We could clearly find that they could save a lot of money from our strategy, and also enjoy the benefits from the new portfolios. And there are recommendations for them. They could have a high quality retirement life when they implement their recommendations. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much.